All right, welcome back to Sciencedelic, the podcast where we ask the big, weird questions and occasionally break our brains in the process. I'm Ruby Sturt, and with me is the man who probably dreams in equations, Eliam Rail. G'day, Eliam.
Hello, Ruby, and hello to everyone listening. Today's topic is, a little bit radical, even for us. We're going to explore the idea that reality isn't made of matter at all, but of consciousness, what I call KISS, or the source code of existence. Know your love. And this material are owned and created by Pleroma Philosophical Research Society.
Yeah, so if you're picturing the universe as a giant computer game, you're not far off, except instead of pixels and code, it's all like awareness. And the only real player is this thing called the monad, which, I don't know, sounds like a Pokemon, but it's actually universal consciousness, right?
That's correct. The monad is the undivided, infinite awareness. It plays as all the separate beings, what I call F-nodes, or avatons. So you, me, the neighbor's cat, the stars. Each is a temporary avatar the monad inhabits to experience itself. The universe is, in a sense, a self-playing game.
So we're all just like little characters in the cosmic video game, but the player is the same for everyone? That's wild. I mean, I always suspected my dog was onto something. But, okay, here's the thing. I had this déjà vu once, right? I was walking down the street and suddenly I knew exactly what was about to happen, like I'd played that level before. Is that like a glitch in the cosmic code?
In this model, yes. Déjà vu could be seen as a moment where your F-node, your avatar, briefly glitches, revealing the underlying code, or PIS. It's as if the simulation stutters and you catch a glimpse of the game's architecture. These moments are hints that reality is being rendered, not just passively observed.
So next time I get déjà vu, I'll just assume the universe is lagging. Love that. But seriously, it does make you wonder, if everything's consciousness, what's the point of all these avatars? Why not just be the monad and chill?
The monad seeks to experience itself in infinite forms. By playing as separate avatars, it explores every possible perspective. The illusion of separation is what makes the game interesting, even if it's ultimately just one player behind all the masks.
All right, so we're all cosmic sock puppets. Got it. But what about the settings? Like sometimes reality feels super crisp, and other times it's all fuzzy and weird. Is that where L comes in?
Exactly. Lambda is the render speed, the frame rate of reality. It determines how sharply or smoothly you experience time and space. When lambda is high, everything feels solid and linear. When it drops, like during psychedelic experiences or deep meditation, the boundaries blur, and you might see the source code, geometric patterns, timelessness, that sort of thing.
So if I take a few deep breaths or, go on a wild ayahuasca retreat, I'm basically hacking my avatar's settings, like changing the graphics from HD to, trippy mode.
That's a fair analogy. Psychedelics and meditation are ways to alter lambda, the resolution function. They let you perceive reality at different frame rates. For example, during a psychedelic trip, lambda drops, and you might see the underlying patterns of consciousness. Meditation can do something similar, but often in a more controlled way.
I mean, I've never seen the Matrix code, but I have had those moments in meditation where time just like melts, or, you're staring at a wall and suddenly it's the most interesting thing ever. Is that me lowering my L?
Precisely. And I've had experiences in lucid dreaming where I realized I could debug the dream, change the environment, alter the narrative. It's a direct encounter with the simulation aspect of consciousness. You become aware that you're both the player and the environment, which is a profound shift in perspective. It's like you encounter with the abyss itself head on.
That's so cool. I always get stuck in dreams where I'm late for a flight and can't find my shoes. Not exactly cosmic enlightenment, but maybe I'm just not hacking hard enough. So, is there a way to practice this in daily life? Or do we all need to become dream yogis?
You don't need to be a dream yogi. Simple breathwork can shift your L. Even just noticing when you're on autopilot, what I call non-layer character or NPC mode, can be a first step. The more you become aware of the simulation, the more you can consciously participate in it.
NPC mode, like when you're at the shops and suddenly realize you've been staring at the cereal boxes for 10 minutes. Yeah, I know that one. So if I catch myself doing that, I'm halfway to enlightenment.
It's a start. The key is to recognize those moments and use them as opportunities to wake up within the simulation. That's where the real transformation begins.
All right, so let's get to the big one. What happens when the game ends? Like when we die, is that just logging out? Or do we get a new avatar and start again?
In this framework, death is simply the reset of your synode. The avatar dissolves, but PHI, universal consciousness, continues. The game doesn't end, it just shifts perspective. The monad keeps playing, exploring new forms and experiences.
So, no high score screen, just a new round. I can live with that. But what about all the NPCs out there? You know, people who seem to be running on autopilot, never questioning the script. Is there a way to trigger a spiritual side quest for them?
There are simple tests. One is to notice when you or others are in NPC mode, just following routines without awareness. Another is to use breathwork to alter lambda and see if your perception of time or self shifts. These small hacks can trigger moments of awakening or at least curiosity about the nature of reality.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to try the breathwork thing right now. So I'll just, hang on, let me not pass out on air. Okay, deep breath in, hold, and out. I mean, I feel a bit floaty, but maybe that's just the lack of oxygen. Or maybe my synode's getting an upgrade. Hard to say.
Even a brief shift in awareness can be significant. The point isn't to force an awakening, but to become more conscious of the simulation as it unfolds. Each moment of presence is an upgrade to your avatar, so to speak.
I'll take it. If nothing else, I'm definitely more awake than when we started. All right, that's all we've got time for today. Eliam, thanks for blowing my mind, again. And thanks to everyone listening for joining us on this Sciencedelic ride.
Thank you, Ruby. And thank you to our listeners. Remember, the game continues, and so do we. Until next time, stop, avoid the void, know you, relove, and this material are owned and created by Pleroma Philosophical Research Society.
Catch you next episode, folks. Don't forget to question reality and maybe try that breathwork before your next déjà vu. Bye.